Hey everyone, I'm live. I'm trying to make sure you're not seeing all the dirty laundry in the background. So yeah, I haven't been live for a while. I'm gonna try to do more lives on my page. Let me get my iPad set up here. I thought it would be fun to try some Copic coloring and do some coloring live. So I'm getting my iPad set up. I am going to turn my camera down so you can see what I'm doing, but I wanted to say hi first. So excuse my look. This is my mom uniform. This is what I usually look like during the day. So crazy mom hair, everything. It's all cool. So I ordered some Copics. Yay! I know I've been talking about it on my channel this past week that I'm looking into getting some Copics. I found these on Amazon and I have them linked down below if you want to check those out. These are their skin tones. There are 6 in this pack. These are my first Copics. I'm going to start collecting. They are expensive, but I plan to use coupons and just add colors here and there as I need them. So I need to practice my skin tones. So all I'm going to be doing today is really just stamping out some stamps. I've got some from Unity here. This is actually a really big stamp. Look at that, guys. So there's a lot of area that we can color with skin. And then I've got this one, which is really cute. I don't know if it's available. This was a Stamp Timber deal. I don't know if it's still available with Simon Says Stamp, but I love those girls and I thought that would be fun to color because I'm already getting ready for fall. And then I thought, you know what, let's try to take some of those browns and color maybe these cute kittens. Not so much a skin tone, but it's browns, so it should work, right? Anyway, so that's about it. Otherwise, I am getting ready for my album class in September. I've started my die cutting today. I have to cut a lot of albums, you guys. I'm gonna be die cutting for days. So if I'm a little scarce here on YouTube or my channel or any of my social media, that's probably why. It's gonna be taking up a lot of my time. Also, my son is homeschooling this fall. We're really excited. So that's gonna start in the next week or two. So a lot of things going on. So I'm gonna try to get videos out there. I'm gonna try to talk with all of you guys live as much as I can. But if I'm a little bit MIA, that is why. So why don't we try to bend my camera down to my work surface? I apologize if this doesn't work. Now I have to depend on my iPad to see where, yeah, now y'all just got a shot of my blanket that I'm wearing. Let me see if I can tip this a little bit. How's that looking? Can you see? All right, so let's try to get this started. This is really just me practicing, so I thought I'd do it live, kind of experiment with some of these Copics and see how things go. So here are some of the things that I'm going to be using. I already showed you some of my stamps. Hey Dee, and hey Tamara, aka Tammy. How are you guys doing? I haven't seen you for a while. You guys are upside down, aren't you? Let me spin you. Getting the kinks worked out. Really? Is it working? Because, okay, there we go. It just froze on me for a second. Okay, so, yay. All right, yeah. Hey Dee, nice to see you. Like you guys, I don't know if I've even done a live since I've been here at this house. We moved a while ago. So yeah, I'm trying to get my live stuff set up and going again. Sorry for this reflection on the Copics. That's my other light. So let's just get started. I've got some of this cardstock. This is some Craft Perfect from Tonic, just some smooth white cardstock. It works really great with these alcohol markers. Wait, are you guys, you're upside down now again, right? Why can't I get this? Let's try it again. Going for a ride. Okay, that's the right way. I had it right the first time. It bothers me if it's a little bit angled. You guys let me know if I'm just being totally crazy here. Okay, anyway, let's just move on. So I really want to stamp out some of these fall girls on my Tonic Craft Perfect smooth white paper. I think they're really cute. So I've got my mini Misti here. Okay, thanks, Dee. I'm just like I said, I'm trying to figure things out. There, I'm gonna make this straight because that's bothering me. Okay, get this stamped out. So let's go with this chick with the glasses. Oops. Get her loaded up in there. And where'd my ink go? There it is. Whenever I start doing stuff live, I lose everything because I just throw it all over the place. Isn't it a cute stamp? I got this not last year, but the year before for Stamptember, and Simon Says Stamp, and I'm really excited for Stamptember. I think it's my favorite month of the year since they started that. Like all the special, the exclusive stamp sets are just so much fun. All right, so let's stamp her out. And I'm gonna set that aside. I'm actually gonna stamp her out several times so that we can kind of compare skin tones. So what have you guys been up to? I haven't been live on here for a while. Haven't been able to chat with you guys. How's life? I do like to, I don't know why, I just like to stamp it out about 3 times. Waiting on a package. Watching videos. Oh, what happened to your arm? Did you get an injury? So let's just do 2 for now. Move that aside. I don't know if you guys have watched any of my recent videos, but I've been saying I really like my mini Misti. It's just really handy. It's a nice size for my craft room. All right, so here are the Copics that I've ordered. I went ahead and I ordered this set to kind of get me started with a collection. I know Copics run a little bit pricey. This was $27 and change on Amazon, and I do have it linked down below to where I got it on Amazon if you're interested. I know you can use coupons and those kind of things at Michael's, and if you just buy, you know, one at a time, or you go when they have a buy one get one half off sale, that's a great way to you know, build up your stash as well. I have some style files already, and you guys know I love my style files. I'm ready to kind of broaden my colors. That's why I'm kind of breaking into the Copics, but I know I need more browns. I know I love this light cream kind of color, and I needed a blush pink. So everything in this set is what I already was thinking about getting and what I needed. So I went ahead and just bought this set, and now this will give me a great jumping off place to add more colors in. And one thing that I really need to do is start practicing skin tones. With my style files, I have a light pink and maybe this kind of color, and that's really the only thing I have as far as skin tones. So I just want to kind of practice different skin tones. I think, you know, beautiful. I want to show more skin tones in my coloring, so we're going to try that today. Oh, I'm sorry. That must be painful. Tore your tendon. I'm going to hit this with my heat tool real quick. Yeah, definitely rest that arm and get it better. Sorry, hopefully you can have a little bit of entertainment here while I totally mess up my coloring. So, oh, you bought this set for your first set of Copics too. That's awesome. All right, so I don't really know where to start. Maybe I'll just go with the lightest and then go from there. Yeah, I can imagine that would be painful. Ouch. And while we're doing this, let's see, this is kind of the color that I think it would compare to with my style file markers. And I've been really dying to kind of compare what my style files are like against the Copics. Obviously we know Copics are a high quality brand, but you can see already the nibs or the brush is completely different. This one is shorter, this one has a longer brush, and this one's well used. I probably should change it. This one's actually going dry, which is why I was excited to get this color. Oh, those are a completely different color. So that is not like a brown at all. It's kind of a pink. Kind of surprised by that because that is not the color I expected to come out of there. But good to know. So let's go ahead and color our little girl here. I just want to see how different this is. I can already tell it feels different than what I'm used to. I think it's just a matter of getting used to another marker, something that I haven't used before. Let's see, her legs would probably be, unless she's wearing some cute tights for the summertime. But we're just gonna give her a cute little skirt there. All right, so that is interesting. That does not look, I don't know if you guys can see, but that's the color. It really doesn't look like what's on the cap. But I've always liked that the style file ones really do look like the cap. So let's see what the other ones look like. Okay, so moving on, here is E11. It says Barley Beige. Okay. It's also kind of pink, which I suppose is what you would like for a skin tone. And I believe this one looks like it does match the cap a lot better. It's kind of a pinkish brown. And I think what I have in my style file would be a rose beige, would be comparable. Well, maybe not. That one's a lot darker, but the cap looks kind of the same. Very interesting to compare these. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading here under her hair, on her ear. So I'm really bad at shading, you guys. I kind of just guess where shadows would be and then add a little bit. Her neck would be a little darker. All right, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and blend that back out with my first color. It is different. I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like these brush tips aren't as flexible as my style files. I think, yeah, these kind of move a lot more. These are a little bit more stiff. Not that that's bad. Let's go ahead with, I think this would be the next darkest color. That looks really close to this one, but they're close in number, so it's only two number difference. So this one is supposed to be a little darker, but it looks a lot like E11. So let's just add a little bit here. I guess it is a little bit darker when you get it on top. But to me, she is looking awful, sort of a pinkish tone to her skin. And then maybe I'll blend that back out with my lighter color. With my style files, and I don't know if this is true with Copics, but I've kind of learned with my style files, you can just keep blending to get that smoother look. You really just have to blend a lot better. Can you guys see what's going on here, or is that too light? So here's what I've got so far. I mean, it looks nice. It's different. Definitely looks like a skin tone. I want to see the darker shades. So let's keep that maybe the lighter. You know what? You know what I have to do? She needs some cute little freckles. If you guys haven't noticed, I have tons of freckles. So I gotta represent fair skin and freckles. Yeah. Okay. So there's the freckles. I think it's cute. Adds a little bit more something something. All right. So let's go on to these darker colors. I've got E15 and E18. And this is a little bit of blush. I don't know if you would maybe use that for, oops, that's the chisel end, for maybe adding a little pink to their cheeks. And I think my lightest pink that I have in Style Files is this. So those are comparable. This is a fruit pink. It's lighter, or this, my Style File is darker than this one, which is perfect because I've always wanted a lighter pink for my shading, so I think that's going to be great. But let me see here. Let's go with our E13 Light Suntan as our lightest color. And you guys know that my style of cards, I prefer the lighter blush colors. So putting too dark of colors or too much saturation on my cards kind of freaks me out. But I've been learning, been trying to broaden my coloring. So I've been doing a lot of ink blending lately, but I'm branching out into other skin tones as well. So to me this looks darker than what I'm used to, but having only the lighter skin tones, it's a different coloring that I'm learning. So then there's E15, dark skin tan. So let's add a little shading here. I'm actually really liking this. I like the browner tones, like they have more brown in them. I guess more so than the pink. It just kind of looks reddish to me. Maybe not as natural, but that could just be me. So this is cute. And I think I'm gonna skip the lighter color and go right to the darker color, and then I'll just blend it all out together. So this is E18 Copper. That's a nice dark brown. I actually really like that. Let's put a little bit on her ear and her neck. And then I'm just gonna blend that out. Go back to my lightest color and blend that out. So do you guys have Copics? How did you start your stash? How are you adding to it? I'd love to know, because it is an investment. These Copics are not cheap. They're great quality, but you know, it takes a pretty penny. So like, I would appreciate any and all advice on collecting. My plan right now is to kind of just add in colors that I feel like I'm missing, or colors maybe to replace my style files. I don't know. I do still love my style files. They have worked for me. I've had them several years now, I believe. I'm coming in with my mid-tone because I don't think that brown looks like it's really blended very well. So I'm adding a little bit more. I'm leaving the center of her face lighter, and then I'm going to come back with my lighter color. Blend it out. One thing I have to do is go over to Sandy Elnuck and download and print her hex chart. I have had other people recommend that to me. Said don't go any farther with your collection until you get that, so you can keep track of what you have, which I think is a great idea. Okay, so I think my internet's just being sketchy. Super cute. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? I see on my iPad that it's kind of, okay. I'm back. Okay, good. Because on my iPad it showed that it was not correct. Now I'm upside down. That's weird. Maybe my camera needs to turn. I don't know. All of this live stuff frustrates me. Okay, so here are my two skin tones. There's my darker one and my lighter one. I think they look cute. I feel like I want to go kind of darker on this one even. Can you see? Am I like totally off the screen? But I also want to kind of practice or see what it looks like on hair. Like I like all of these browns. Now that I've got it colored out, I noticed that these lighter browns that I thought would be a nice light brown, they have more of a pink to them, which is fine, but I wanted a light brown, like a lighter brown, so that I could do hair and animals and different things. So I might have to look into getting more browns. I actually find that browns, greens, pinks, blues, those are kind of the ones I use most often. So I'll have to look into getting some more of those. Let's go ahead and stamp out these kittens. I think they're really cute. Let's try to do some kitten coloring. There's that one. These are from Unity, so they are rubber, red rubber, which I absolutely love. If you haven't used Unity stamps, you need to go try them because they're amazing quality. Let's do this one. Yes. Hey Belinda, hey, thanks for showing up. We are just hanging out, not really creating a card today. I'm just practicing coloring, and I'm going to try to make some tweaks with my whole live setup here to make it better for you guys in the future. Let me know if you like these lives. I might try to do like once a week, maybe on Fridays or something. So let me know. Okay. I feel like you guys need to be turned around. I don't know why my camera switched on me. How's that? Okay. That's better. All right. I don't like, okay. I don't know. I'm just all turned around. What best ink and paper for Copics? Well, I know a lot of people would suggest that you use Nina's, what is it? Solar White Classic Crest in a 110-pound cover. So everyone would recommend Nina. I'm using some Tonic or Craft Perfect Smooth White, which works great for alcohol marker as well. And I'll show you, they come in little packs here like this. I don't know exactly how many sheets you get. I thought I had another pack here. Okay. Ultra Smooth card. It comes in 5 sheets. I do have that linked below if you want to check it out. Okay, have a great day, Dee. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, and then the best ink is you want to use not Versamark. Versamark will smear. That one's good for watercoloring and stuff. I'm using Raven Detail ink. It is permanent when it's heat set or when it's dry. It won't run whether you're using Copics or watercolors or anything. But there's also some other hybrid inks. Hybrid inks would be safe. You could also use, let me get it out here. You can also use Gina K. It's kind of the same idea. Once it's dry, it's not going to smear whether you use Copics or watercolor or anything. So I could definitely recommend these. These are both great black inks to have. for anything. If I'm not using my Misti and I just want to stamp with a block and get a nice black, I'll go with my VersaFine because this is a pigment ink. But because it's pigment, it's going to run with your Copics. So don't use it with Copics. Once it's dry, you can use it with watercolors. Or if I just want to simply stamp on a sentiment or just use a stamp block and just stamp once, I'll use this one. But if I'm using my Misti and I want to do Copics or something like that, I definitely reach for my detail ink or my Gina K. So those are the two I would suggest for Copics. And I have that one linked below too if you want to check it out. So let's color our little kitten. I think we've talked enough and it's probably dry. I have to remember, okay, so this one's pink, even though the cap doesn't look pink. It's that pinkish color there. And then the next lightest brown is the barley beige. So let's go with that for our little kitten. You're welcome, Vicky. I hope that helps you out. All of the inks can be so confusing, but if you are getting into inks, and I don't know everything about inks, and so I'm not gonna, say for sure one way or another, but if you're getting into inks and you see hybrid ink, most hybrid inks, when they're dry, will be permanent, so you can use them with most any medium as long as they're dry. I think hybrid inks are becoming more of a popular thing. A lot of brands have their own. I have the whole set of Brutus Monroe hybrid inks. Those are great. Nuvo has some hybrid inks. So it kind of depends on what colors you like and what you're going for, what your collection is, what you want. But I think most hybrid inks will be permanent once they're heated up. So I am just learning with these Copics. You guys know that I've used my style file markers for several years now, and I have no complaints with my style file markers. They're great. They're just getting very used. I have a few that I think I might need to refill. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and refill them, stick with them, or go another route. So I got this skin tone pack of Copics to kind of try out here. And even though they're skin tone, they're browns and tans. So I just want to see, using it with one of these kittens, which are stinking cute. I have these linked below too from Unity. So I think if the light's coming from above, he's going to be a little bit more shadowed down here. I'm doing some very, very quick coloring. I'm not really being super careful for the lines or anything. I'm just experimenting with these newer colors. But I think this kitten is super cute. And it's always been a little more natural for me to like color in flicking motions. I don't know why. That's just the way I tend to do it. So I'm gonna go with E15, which is a little bit darker. That blends well. One thing I've noticed with my style file markers is that after using them for a while, I just kind of know which colors are going to blend together, and so I kind of reach for certain combinations over and over again. But I feel like I then start looking like all my coloring on all my cards look the same because it's all the same colors that I'm using over and over again. Which isn't bad. We don't need to have all the things. But it's kind of nice to branch out sometimes too. This is super cute. I'm liking the darker, so I might actually add more of that and kind of blend it out as I go. Then if you just practice your coloring and you end up with a bunch of images, just color them, slap them on a card, and you're good to go. One thing I am noticing now as I am blending these colors together, they do blend really nice. I mean, the style files do too, but I think having this longer tip gives you more surface as you are coloring it out. It covers more surface to kind of help blend. That's just something I'm kind of seeing right now. So do you guys have any plans for the weekends? Any parties I can come to? I'll come crash your party. So I didn't know how this was gonna look because it has more of a pink tone to it, but I'm kind of liking it. It looks like a reddish, a kitten with a reddish tone to its skin. It's really cute. I mean, kitten's cute all on its own. So here's my lightest color. I'm gonna come back in, blend this all out. And I think I'm even going to come back one more time and get even darker just in these little areas where it's more shaded. Because that's another thing I'm learning is contrast is not a bad thing. It's a good thing when you're coloring. It gives your images more depth and dimension. Makes them look a little bit more finished. So here's my darkest of this set, E18 copper. I am just gonna add a little bit here. Around there, around the bottom, where it would be darkest. Right here. Oh my goodness. This guy is super cute. I might just have to make a card with him now. He needs to be batting at something. Okay. And what do I want to blend that out with? I'm going to take this one, which is not my lightest. It's my almost lightest. I have one more color that's lighter than this, but I'm going to blend this out halfway. And then I'll come back in with my lightest and blend it out the rest of the way. And then I'm thinking next, after I get this color, this image colored, I want to kind of see how the Copics blend with my style files. See if they blend together well. I mean, they're alcohol markers, so I kind of think they should be fine, but we'll see. All right, I think that's fine. Obviously not perfect. I have a lot to learn with coloring, but I'll give you a better look at that. I think it's super cute. What do you guys think? Now what's really fun is, and it, you know, you're gonna get bleeding on the back side of most any paper unless you get a special marker paper. So that's totally normal. But once you're done, what you can do is go back in with your markers or gel pen and kind of add detail. I'm going to just kind of highlight these little specks here. On his tummy. And here's my pink. I haven't used this one much. It doesn't really show up on the nose since I've already colored over it. But one other thing I would suggest having in your stash is a white gel pen. I think it's really great when you're Copic coloring. You can add little details, fix mistakes. I think it just really makes your image pop. And then if you got one out of the lines like I did here, you can kind of color over it. It's not going to make it perfect, but it's going to make it a little bit less noticeable. Lots of things you can do with a white gel pen, so I would definitely suggest one of those. You can even add some more speckles, or whatever you want to call them. Here, I think that would look super cute. Go. So just adds a little bit more detail and everything. There's a look at that. Loving these colors, loving my Copics. I knew I would because they're great quality. Any crafter will tell you that. So no question on the quality. It's just a learning process, I think, as far as coloring in general, and alcohol ink coloring is a learning process. So let's see here. What can we do? I'm going to go back to this lady and we'll see how our Copics blend with our style files. I'm going to color her hair and the rest of my image, and I'm going to use Copics where I can and my style files where I can, and we'll see what happens. Can I get you guys a little closer? Maybe not. I tried. Just wanted to see if I could give you guys a better look at what I'm doing. And I'm shaking y'all up. How's that? There we go. You're straight. Okay. It always bothers me if it's crooked. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, so I've got my style file markers here. Move this over and let's get coloring. So let's see, for her hair, let's do, I really want to do like a reddish hair. Maybe I should do a dark brown. So let's start with, usually when I do like a dark brown, with my style files, I'll start with this one and then I'll blend it out. I'll use some of yellow ochre. And then these two, actually the caps look different, but they kind of look similar. So I'll grab either one of those. And then these are both a reddish brown, natural oak and brick brown. One's just darker than the other. So those are kind of the ones I use for reddish brown hair. So let's see what we can do with what we have. I just want to go, for my memory's sake, color these out. This one might be a good starting point. It's a darker reddish brownish. That one's a reddish brownish. And here's my darkest. So that would be a nice one to add if you wanted a dark chocolate kind of hair. I want to go with a reddish kind of hair. So I'm going to start with this one first. This is light suntan. And let's see how this works. I mean, I personally think it has a pinkish tone to it, but let's see what we can do. So, hair is really fun to practice that flicking motion because that's going to make it look like strands of hair. So I usually try to use just the tip, not lay the marker flat too much. I really want to just kind of flick it along with, you know, the curve of her head coming up from the bottom here. And I am going to leave some of this area white. As I build my layers of color, it's going to start look like a highlight on her hair. I'm also leaving a little highlight here and here. Now, I'm not professional at all, but this is how I usually do it and how I usually practice. So now I'm coming in with my next darkest color, and these two blend together really well. You almost don't need to do much. So that's nice. They're very similar colors. So again, I am flicking on some of this darker color. And you can really see as you add this color, it really starts making this hair take shape. So I'm leaving a big white gap, I know that, but I'm gonna keep building up my colors, so it's gonna close in eventually. So let's see, what do I want? Natural oak or brick brown? Let's see what we have. Oh, that's very close, those two right there. And this one's a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go with my brick brown and kind of add this in. So here's some of my darkest color. It's a brick brown, it's a reddish brown, which goes great with her little freckles. So cute. Gotta represent the freckled girls. Everyone told me they were either angel kisses or that they would go away when I got older. They didn't. They just got darker, and I got more of them. Okay, so I've got that darkest color on there, mostly at the roots, a little bit. I'm gonna come back in with my mid-tone color and start flicking that out again. And I am seeing no problems so far with these colors blending, which I didn't think I would, since they are both alcohol markers. I think the biggest difference that I'm seeing so far is the shape of the barrel and the shape of the nib, or whatever you call it. But as I'm using these Copics, now when I switch to my style files, those almost feel weird, which is funny. I thought it would take me a lot longer to kind of get used to the Copics. Hey Amanda, it's not so much of a comparison as it's just me practicing coloring skin tones. So I was telling everyone I am trying to broaden my alcohol marker collection, so I bought this pack of skin tone Copics and I'm just trying them out. So we've colored a few images already, tried a little animal here with the browns, darker skin tones, and now I just want to show or try out how the style files blend with Copics, and so far I think they blend very nicely together. I don't have any complaints so far, and so we're trying to just color this little girl here and see what happens. These are the first Copics I've owned so far, and I mean, I'm not disappointed. I didn't think I would be, because I know Copics are a great quality marker. It's just the price that scares me. But I plan on just adding slowly, using coupons, all of that fun stuff. So I'm just kind of coming in with my lighter color again going over those lighter areas, and I think I need to go back with my mid-tone, add more of that, and then I'll go back with my darker color. But I do have to say, I really like the way these Copics are blending. I love that sort of that blended look on my paper. I think they're just really, really nice, obviously. Okay, so I've got that there, and then let's come in with our style file, our brick brown, and add a little bit more to her roots. I feel like that darker color is getting a little blended out since I'm putting so much of the lighter colors on top. And now I have to go back with my other colors and blend it out because it doesn't look great. So this is usually how I do my coloring. I just keep adding layers because I never know when to stop. I'm like, oh, I need to go darker. And then when I do, oh, I need to blend it out. You use them interchangeably, Lisa? Yeah, I'm finding that they really, they work fine together. So I don't know. One question I should ask you guys. Have you ever tried those cheaper markers like at Michael's or something? They're not Stylefile. They kind of look like this. I don't really know what brand they are. I've always been tempted to pick up a few, but I'm like, you know, am I gonna regret it? Are these gonna be like not the same? I don't know. So let me know if you've ever, you know, tried that. So let's see, I'm trying to catch up on the comments here. You go back and forth between brands and no problems. Amanda says, you've started buying the 72 packs. Oh, so you get one pack every 6 months. That's a good idea. Save up for it and just buy a pack all at once. So the 72 packs, they have different packs that have unique colors. I'm assuming you won't get duplicates of those colors if you buy them in the 72 packs. So I'm actually going to do something kind of weird. I'm using the pink. I don't know what color I want her scarf, but I want to try the pink. I haven't used that much. And you guys, once I'm starting to use these, I'm really liking them, which shouldn't be a surprise because they are Copics. So let's see, what do I want to do here with her scarf? So that's a light pink. Here's a darker pink of my style files. Ooh, I don't know. Although the pink scarf is kind of cute. I was going to go with more fall colors. I guess I could bring in reds. I could give her a nice red scarf. Let's do that. I just have to darken that up. Where's my red? Here we go. So now I'm using a lot of my style files because actual colors I don't have any Copics for. I just have skin tones, which is totally fine. And then with reds, for my darkest shade, for my what do you call it, my shadows, I like to use my brick brown. It's a brown, but it's a reddish brown. It just adds darker shadowing to my reds, gives it a little bit more oomph. So I probably didn't even need to put that light pink down, but I definitely need more of that dark red in here. So we're gonna do that. This one. I'm gonna leave just a tiny bit of that lighter pink. Add some more of my brick brown here and here, and like this. Oops. And then I'm going to blend that out with my pink color. which once I go over that a few times, it's not really gonna look pink. It's just, you know, highlighted red. So there's a cute red scarf for her. What else should we color? Let me catch up on you guys' comments. Okay, so you bought some cheap ones from Amazon. Yeah, Amanda, that's what I was noticing in the beginning, that these nibs, or the tips, they are longer than the Style File ones, but they seem firmer. They don't quite, they're not as flexible. So I think it's probably just a personal preference if you like that or not, but I'm finding I kind of like that they're longer, because when you color with them, they do blend out a larger area. This one I think might be easier, a little bit easier to flick with, but this one will blend out a larger area, is just what I'm thinking from playing with them right now. I really love the brush tip as well, Lisa. I have, I don't know where it is. Maybe they're not here. Where did I put them? Oh, I've got a few of these alcohol markers as well. And they're alcohol markers. They work great, but they don't have a brush tip. They have a bullet nib. So if you like that, that's great. But it's a little bit different coloring. And since I'm so used to the brush, these are a little bit difficult for me to use just because I'm not used to them. But they have beautiful colors, as you can see, and I think they'd really do well if you're coloring a really tiny image. You can get in there better with that tiny brush, or, you know, nib. But with the fine point of the brush, I haven't had much of a problem with getting into smaller areas anyway. So I think it's kind of a personal preference thing. Hey Heidi, thanks for joining. Oh, that's really good to know, Amanda. No duplicates if you buy all 5 72 packs. That's kind of nice that they break it up that way, because, you know, they're so expensive. I would hate to go ahead and buy something and then it be a duplicate. So let's see here. I'm gonna try a mustard shirt. So we're gonna use some yellow here. There's not a whole lot of shading to do on her shirt. It's a really simple, small area. So we're gonna do some yellow, and then we're gonna bring in some yellow ochre. Whenever I use an ochre, I feel like Bob Ross, because he's always got some kind of ochre on his palette, right? I'm glad you caught me live too, Heidi. I haven't been live for a while. I was asking y'all, do you like lives? Do you like catching me live? I'm gonna see if I can do more of them. Maybe make it like a Friday thing. I don't know. We'll see. So I brought in some yellow ochre over my yellow and tried to give her a little bit of a mustard sweater, because that's like really on trend for fall, right? So isn't this little image adorable? I love it. It's one that I keep reaching for every fall. It's the Greeting Farm. It was a Stamp Timber exclusive, so I don't think you can get it anymore, but it's Pumpkin Spice It Up. It was the Greeting Farm and Simon Says Stamp, and I just fell in love with these characters, these images. They're just so fall and so me, so I just had to grab them. So I think she needs either like, not a brown skirt, because we have a lot of brown going on, so maybe like a jean skirt. How's that? So let's do, for jeans, I kind of really like this marine blue. It's a grayish blue, and then I kind of do, so I build up my colors. Again, I always like to start with my lightest color. And you know, this is a really small image, small area, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of shading out of it. But I want to put that color down first, and then I'm going to bring this in here and kind of try to leave just a small smidgen of a highlight right there. Go over it again with my lighter blue. Blend that out. And then I have a darker blue. I'm gonna do this one again real quick. Right here. And then I'm going to get a darker blue and blend that all together. So that highlight is still there, but it's not like in your face. So now she's got a cute little jean, what do you call it? Skirt. Okay, and then since she needs to be matchy-matchy, her shoes need to be red as well. Those are really tiny. I'm not even gonna attempt much shading, except for I'm gonna put some red here. And since I want it to be like a dark, rich autumn red, I'm gonna put some brick brown over that. And that's her shoes. Voila, easy. Okay, and then her coffee cup. She needs a coffee cup. What should we do for her coffee cup? We'll make that little thing red. So I'm gonna go, not red. This coffee, what do you call it? A cozy or something? It's gonna be a brown because those little coffee sleeve things, they're brown, right? You can tell I don't get out much. I have 2 kids. I don't get out much. Here's one of my new ones. It's a really light brown. And then I don't want to make it too dark, but I know this is kind of a dark brown, but let's put some here on the side. And then I'll blend that out. I've kind of learned, you know, even if you think you've ruined it, just keep blending. Just keep blending. Just keep blending. And that brown looks really awkward, so I gotta put a darker brown on that. Blend it out. So if you start with a lighter color and you end up having to put lots of layers on, and it ends up being darker, at least you started with a lighter color and maybe you saved it a little bit from being too crazy. I'm using my lightest gray. This is my neutral gray 0, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the top here. The top is going to be white, but I don't want it to be like, you know, just plain. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow on the side with my gray. And then should I just leave her cup white? Because, I mean, coffee cups are white. So let me add a little gray here and a little gray here. And then she's done. There's my little character. Style files and Copics blended together. I think it works good. So I don't even know how long I've been on here, guys, but I might have to call it quits for today, get some other things done. Like I said, I am busy cutting out a ton of albums for an upcoming class I have. Now, if you guys want to check out this class, I have a link, my featured video in my YouTube channel, my home page, whatever you call it, that explains this class that I'm doing, and it's got a link that you can go to and sign up if you're interested. It's in September. I think it's the 3rd weekend of September, maybe the 4th, later September. It's in Modesto, California. What it is you come, you pay for the event. You can come Friday night. There's going to be make and takes, sort of a card swap social time. I'm going to be doing a make and take with Tonic. You come chat with me, whatever. And then Saturday, you rise bright and early, and you will take a class with me, a 3-hour class on creating a Christmas album. And then you can either move on to the next class, which will be with Julie. She's doing cards, so you'll be doing cards with her. And then your group will also be able to bus over to the Tonic warehouse and shop their warehouse. So I think that's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I've got a lot of work to do with making these kits, but I'm really excited. So that's next month in September. If you're in the area or if you're able to travel, I would love to see you in person and say hi and, you know, show you how to make a Christmas album using some Tonic dies. Otherwise, that's all I got for today. Yes, Heidi, I put some freckles on her. I had to represent the freckle girls because you can see I'm freckled, so I just think it's kind of cute to give them freckles. So, I don't know. I'm going to probably cut her out and use her on a card or something. I think she's just too adorable. I love coloring her every fall. So, I think that's all I have for today. I've got to go. My son is not napping, and I'm sure he doesn't want to be stuck in bed all afternoon, although I don't think he minds because he's reading books, and that's good too. But I'm gonna go. So, have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Maybe I'll try to do another live next week. Maybe try to make Friday live day a thing. If you guys like, it'll probably be around 1:30 in the afternoons because that's nap time around here, and that's when it's, you know, quietest and I won't have kids screaming for nap or for snacks and different things. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Let's see if I might just have to say hi to y'all. There we go. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. I gotta figure out how to turn this thing off. Okay.